Saanich North in the Islands.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. We need to take strong action on tackling the housing crisis gripping Vancouver and spreading across other parts of our province as well. We need to protect the future of young people in our cities. We need to target what's really driving this crisis. I agree with the Premier, Mr. Speaker. We need to get speculation out of the marketplace. But as we do this, the unintended consequences on the areas that we didn't intend to target must be minimized. I've heard loud and clear that an unintended consequence of the speculation tax as proposed by this government could be to hit areas like the Gulf Islands very hard. I'm very sympathetic to the complexity of the challenge that this government has inherited. But the British Columbians who own vacation homes are not speculators. And most importantly, they are not the primary cause of the housing crisis. Applying the tools to address the supply and demand aspects of the housing market on places like the Gulf Islands is going to be very tricky. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Will the implementation of this tax recognize the difference between Galliano, Maine, Pender, and Salt Spring Islands and places like Vancouver?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the member, and thank you for the support of the speculation tax. I think it's critical. I know that the housing plan for the Greens actually called for a speculators tax that would, and I quote, take the form of an annual property tax surcharge targeted at absentee owners and cover domestic speculators, such as residents of other properties who own property in BC. So I take the member's point. We've been hearing, as I said, issues that have come forward. We have included those. They have been on our table as part of our implementation. We've been looking at all those issues, and I appreciate the feedback from the member.
Saanich North in the Islands on a supplemental.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And that's right. We did put forward a comprehensive policy that included a flipping tax as well. And I thank the Minister for the answer, and I'm glad to hear that the feedback will be taken. I welcome it. It's crucial that we get the implementation of this right. The target of the speculation tax should not be the senior couple who owns a vacation home on Main Island and stay there for several months of the year. That's been going on in the market for a very long time. The target should be on the speculator who views our real estate as a place to park capital and a place just for profit. I've been hearing from individuals and from local governments with the concerns of the details of this tax. And the government has got to be able to create tools that recognize the diverse needs of different parts of this province and the more effectively deal with the crux of the issue. My question is to the Minister of Finance, again, being open to feedback, will you take this a step further and reach out to the local governments as you make changes to this policy to ensure that their voices are also being heard in the needs of communities? Thank you.
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the member. Yes, I've been hearing from local governments as well, so if there are others, I'm happy to do that outreach. We've been hearing from a number of individuals, and they've been providing their feedback around suggestions, around approaches. All of that, as I said, has been on our table as part of the implementation plan, so I appreciate it, and if there are other contacts that the member wants to pass along, please feel free. This is our opportunity, and details to come.
Right on.